Thank God it's Friday. Happy Friday, members. I want to talk about an indie game developed by the game Bakers. And I guess they baked up a good climbing game here. So this is basically, first off, it's called Cairn, I believe. Cairn, I believe. And I put a few hours into this game. I made over 20 gameplay VODs. And basically, this game is coined as the Dark Souls of climbing games. Um, I played this on a PlayStation 5 and it released yesterday on the PC and PlayStation 5. And I got a deal on the PSN Plus deal thing where I got a like 15% off or something. But otherwise, it's like $29.99, I believe. So personally, I like climbing games. This one is okay. It seems like early on, you basically move your left. You basically do individual limbs to climb up and catch cracks and use your feet, your left hand, right hand, left foot, right foot, and you gotta climb up cliffs and stuff. And there are definitely you know some dark souls to this game. Whereas like you climb up a cliff, you can reach something called a biovic. I cannot pronounce that shit. And it's basically a place where you save the game. So it's basically like a bonfire, and you can save your game, and you can tend to your wounds in your tent. You basically pitch a tent, camp out, and you could like wrap your fingers, anything. You could cook food because this game does, like I said, have survival elements where you get hungry, you get thirsty, your fingers can mess up. You can use chalk to grip better and everything. The protagonist is named Ava, and unfortunately, I know I'm not going to be able to ever probably beat this game because of so many games being released and the scheduling and everything. But she seems interesting. Like she's like a legendary climber, and she's basically trying to climb a mountain called Kami. I don't know if it's real or not or it's fictional, but it's like she doesn't want to talk to people. She doesn't want to talk to friends. She doesn't want to talk to family. She doesn't want to talk to her associates in the climbing world. Like she's escaping something personal. Unfortunately, I know I'm never going to get to her story. I probably got to look it up, but she seems interesting as a protagonist. Gameplay mechanically, like I said, is basically you moving individual limbs to climb cliffs, and you can rappel. You can use a light when it gets dark, and there are day and night cycles. As far as that's concerned, the biggest issue, the biggest negative of this game, I could really point out easily is the tech issues. Like it stutters a lot. It's a lot of chippiness in the frame rates. And this is on the base PlayStation 5. So the game doesn't run that good for what it looks like and stuff. And I don't, it's not a high frame rate just by looking at it. But yeah, the game is a solid game. It's not really my type of game. I love Death Stranding. Death Stranding is not really a climbing game. It kind of is though. It's more of a delivery game. But I see some elements of Death Stranding too in Cairn. Like once you get to the top of a cliff, you walk down a narrow path on a ridge of a cliff, and it puts the title scene. It's just reminiscent of the first sequence of Sam in Death Stranding 2. Presentation is pretty good, and it's not an easy game. I'll be honest with you. I'm playing this game on easy, by the way, with all the help I can get, because I'm about making gameplay videos. I'm not about gamer clout. I'm not about that. I'm about making gameplay videos, and I still fail. I still lost, traction and fell a couple times. But on the easy difficulty, they have something called a rewind function where you can rewind back to a certain point where you grab this or had your foot on that, and you can kind of leverage yourself to continue on going in a different direction and whatnot. Like I said, this is a game that's not really for me, but I would actually, if I had time, I would beat it. I did, because it's a good game. Like if you put a gun in my head and say, review this game right now, Jason, it's like an 8 game, even with the bad technical issues. It's unique in that it's a great climbing game mechanically. It's a little weird with it has those physics and the kinetics with the legs be wiggling and stuff if you don't latch onto something. Got a little kinetic animation movement, little clipping issues and stuff. But technically are really the only issues I really have with this game. Everything else seems pretty good. Uh, like I said, survival elements. You do have to drink water. There's water scattered around the mountain and everything, and you can find water. You can find bottles. You can find various debris or signs, so you can learn about parts of the mountains with the animals and the wilderness and everything. Music is good, atmospheric, very visceral in the sense that it's a very zen game. You know, there's just moments where you can like just hit I think it's called a safe spot or safe rest or rest spot, and you can just sit there and just chill and look at the scenery and stuff. Which is the art style is really good. It's a gorgeous game at times, and you can zoom out and zoom in and stuff. So yeah, unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to beat this game. I'm not gonna be able to see how Ava's story pans out and stuff. But it's interesting. Early on, this game is interesting for a climbing game, and I believe I played Jusant a little bit of that, which is another Baker's game, I believe, which was another climbing game. But this one has a lot more gameplay mechanics, elements, you know, stacked onto that compared to that game and everything. And you also got a robot called a Climbot, which is like a little android that helps you along the way and grabs ropes and grabs picks and repairs picks and does all kind of stuff for Ava, because she's basically is alone, but she got a little R2D2 droid with her. I think that might be it. And I heard the game is like over 10 hours, so it's a pretty long game. But yeah, I just put a few hours into it and made about 20 gameplay VODs and get you out of members video. So members, I think that's about it. I appreciate you for becoming a member of Jason's Video Game Source. You can always check out the website where I got a lot of written stuff, and that's about it. Have a great weekend. Later.